Flow, Joe. I've been talking your damn ear off about Flow. I texted you. Oh my God, I texted you just like incomprehensible symbols. I couldn't even verbalize after Flow. Flow is a movie that everyone's, I think, hopefully going to be talking about more because it's poised to be a potential upset in the Best Animated Picture category, not just at the Golden Globes where it got nominated, but also potentially at the Oscars because we've had so many big money-making animated movies this year, Inside Out 2, Moana 2, the new Despicable Me, Kung Fu Panda. We're going to have... what else? Sonic, does that qualify as an animated movie? I don't know. But wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if all those big billion-dollar movies coming out of Disney got beat by a Latvian animated movie made on an open source internet animated software? Wouldn't that be fucking awesome? Yeah. I hope it happens because Flow deserves it. Let me tell you about Flow if you haven't heard about Flow. It's a Latvian movie directed by Gins Zilbalotis, also written by him and Matīs Kaza. This movie has no dialogue, and like I said, it's completely rendered on open source software Blender. And it really looks like the best like student animation of all time. Like it has sort of, it's not going to have the gloss and sheen that you associate with a Disney or Pixar movie. The animation feels a little loose at the edges, but oh my God, is it gorgeous? Is it beautiful? Is it visionary? And if anything, I think having a slightly less like professionalism around the animation amped up the creativity and the beauty of it. I think the kind of like the slightly the roughness of the animation really works well. Now this movie tells the epic tale of a black cat who must fight to survive the flooded remnants of a majestic civilization. We don't know who lived here or what they did, but the flooded remnants of a majestic civilization, and this cat, homeward bound style, joins up with just an absolutely killer crew of other animals. We've got a Labrador retriever. We've got a capybara. We've got a big white bird. I think it might be a heron or something. We've got a little rascally ring-tailed lemur. Whoa. And together this crew sails through the ruins of a drowned planet that is now teeming with flora and fauna, which gives our animal crew a chance to survive, but also presents them with lots of predators and dangers they have to overcome. Joe, Flow fucking rocks. It fucking rocks. There are two movies this year that I could watch on loop for 12 hours straight, preferably with the assistance of a controlled substance. Sure. Aggro Drift, of course, would be one of them. Of course. Flow is the other one. And as you know, Aggro Drift was my favorite movie of the year at a point. It was number one, and your number one at our mid-year.
It sure was.
And then I recently said that Jesse Eisenberg's Real Pain
was your best movie of the year.
Was my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah.
Now, Joe, am I about to say this? Am I about to say this for real?
Really?
I think I am. It's how I feel, so I'm going to say it. Move over, A Real Pain, because as of this moment on my list, I can show you on my spreadsheet that I keep. My favorite movie I've seen this year so far is Flow. Flow is the real deal. Go see Flow. I was the only one at my screening. I was completely alone, which was a lot of fun for me, but it's not great for Flow. Everybody needs to go see Flow.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
So there's no words.
No words.
How long is it?
Like
2 hours?
No, it's like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, okay.
Yeah.
Is there music?
There is scoring.
What's it like?
There is scoring. It's like appropriate. I don't think the score was like the score right. Like I can't say like was vivid in my mind.
Yeah, I'd be just like, was it like violins or was it like 16-bit?
No. It's a pretty traditional score. Yes, cool. Here's why I liked Flow so much. Also, like I honestly didn't even think about the score. I'm trying to remember now.
The only reason I ask is because like if there's no dialogue, I just wonder what underpins the sort of.
I mean, there's a lot of natural sounds.
Okay.
The sound of there's a lot of water, rushing water. Okay. There's the birds. There's a lot of natural sounds. Honestly, Flow could like completely not have a score, and I totally made that up. I think it has like a light score to it. Okay,
so I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. No, this is an interesting question, but this is how good the animation is. Is like I really wasn't. It wasn't like a movie that like the sound design really stuck with me, and I love good sound design, but it's just the animation is so overpowering.
That animation
so
style
powerful.
Stays consistent the whole entire time.
The whole time. Now here's what's great about Flow. First of all, it nailed better than I've ever seen. Nailed the actual mannerisms and behavior of a cat. Now, this is a very animated cat with a lot of personality, but it is not a cartoon cat. That you are watching a real fucking cat behave. Everything from the way it reacts to fear, to the way it reacts to predators, to like little things where like it'll just sort of like a cat will just like open their mouth halfway like this. And it's like, I think it's like maybe he's like smelling, or it's sort of an aggressive thing. I don't know, but it like does that. And then like the way that, like after a cat coughs up a hairball, sometimes it gets really like proud and kind of haughty and kind of marches off and leaves the hairball behind him. Like so many little moves that are just perfect. I've never felt like I was watching a real cat more than in Flow. It's unbelievable. And that goes for all the animals in the movie. They're all intelligent and intuitive and communicative, but never with like, it's always an intelligence that feels like real and achievable in the absence of humans. Like there's a total lack of anthropomorphism in this movie that is so refreshing, where you just feel like you're watching like how actual animals would band together and act. And of course it's sort of movied up a little bit, but like not that much. There's just such a sense of realism to the personalities of these animals that I absolutely loved. Second, the beauty and the wonder are off the charts. Do you like beauty and wonder? Well, good news, because Flow exists. You're going to love Flow. When this little cat wakes up, Joe, on this like rickety ass sailboat that they're all riding around the world to survive. And when this cat wakes up on the sailboat in the middle of the night and the fucking aurora borealis is going off overhead, and this cat like walks over to the mighty heron perched on the prow of the boat. And by the way, you're seeing all this like in silhouette. It's gorgeous. And they just like together like take in the northern lights for a second, these two animals. And again, there's like no anthropomorphism. It's like animal intelligence. Like you're seeing them just like, you don't know quite what they're thinking, but you know they're having an experience under the northern lights. And then the cat like curls up under the heron and goes to sleep. It's just the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in a movie. It's amazing. And I love that the human remains, the remains of this civilization. This was there's a couple surprising things. I knew a little bit about Flow going in. There's something that surprised me. The first thing was, I love that like the remains of civilization wasn't like the Statue of Liberty and the Eiffel Tower and like Planet of the Apes style, like, you know, like I don't know who lived on this planet, but it was like, it's like the remnants of civilization are like Minas Tirith. It's like from my Lord of the Rings head. It looks like a Lord of the Rings like elven city. Cool. Like these like gorgeous like high fantasy like ruins, and you're like, who are these people? And there's like massive like cat sculptures the size of like the Colossus of Rhodes like looming over like lakes, and you're like, who are these people? You never find out. You do get some interesting clues near the end that are interesting, but like you never really, it's not that kind of movie. It's just like, isn't this beautiful and wondrous is what the movie is constantly asking you. And the answer is yes, yes, and yes. It looks like almost like, it's like what they like go through is like, it's almost like the best screensaver you've ever seen. You know, like when a screensaver is a little like leans into fantasy scape a little bit. Imagine like the best version of that. Okay. And this little like crew of animals like like floating through all of that. It's the best.
Damn, Daniel.
Now, third and most importantly, this is where the movie went from just great to so far my favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Here's what happened, because I did a thing about halfway through that I'm sure you do sometimes, where I was like, I'm like looking around. There's nobody in the theater, but I'm looking around. I'm like, damn, like I really like Flow.
Yeah,
Flow fucking rocks. And I was like, I don't want to jump the gun here.
Start panicking.
If Flow does like in the next like 30 minutes, if Flow makes like 2 killer moves, I'm gonna have no choice but to name this my best movie of the year. And Joe, Flow has like 2 or 3 killer moves in its back pocket that I did not see coming that are just astonishing. Astonishing. You think this is just some like some scrappy little cute animation about a cat. No, this is like the existential masterpiece of our time, Flow, okay? This movie has some fucking gut punches in its little tiny cat pouch that you are not going to see coming, and they're going to knock you flat on your dumb ass, and you're going to reevaluate everything, baby. That's why Flow fucking rocks. And I don't want to give away too much, but like I said, there's 2 scenes that absolutely crush me. The movie is both like natural and supernatural. It's so much about nature and animals, but it also leans into these like supernatural touches and magic that are fucking astonishing. It's also a movie that's deeply concerned with existential issues, but it also wants you to have a religious experience while you're watching it. It is the best of both worlds. And Joe, yes indeed, it is pure fucking cinema. Go watch Flow. It'll test if you're actually dead inside or if you've just had a tired, exhausting year. Flow is a defibrillator to your fucking soul, people. Carson, I want you to Photoshop that onto the Flow poster. You can quote it from Movies Baby. A defibrillator to your soul, quote Movies Baby. Put it on the Flow poster, and you can use that Flow. 5 out of 5.